Who wants to go first? As Duan Tianfeng's voice fell, a wave of murmurs swept through the top 100 experts present. Clearly, everyone was hesitating, pushing and pulling, reluctant to take the first step. I'll go. Xiao Yan and Yurenran exchanged a glance, then both took a step forward, slowly heading toward the wooden box to draw lots. If no one else was willing to start, they would do it, as they were both confident in their own strength. At this point, there was no need to hide anything. They just needed to draw lots to find their opponents and defeat them. As long as they weren't unlucky, they wouldn't run into experts at the late stage or peak of the 2-star Desolate. Such strong opponents would likely only be encountered in the final rounds. Although Xiao Yan was only in the early stage of 2-star Desolate, his combat power was more than enough to deal with experts at the early or mid 2-star Desolate stages with ease. Opponents at the late stage of 2-star Desolate would be a bit challenging, while those at the peak would require all his strength to face. After all, anyone qualified to participate in the Eastern Continent competition wasn't someone to be underestimated. Clatter. After a bit of searching, Xiao Yan drew lot number blue 25, while Yurenran drew blue 20. Xiao Yan was worried that they might draw the same number and be forced to fight each other, so he attempted to use his soul power to probe the wooden box to avoid this issue. However, he found that the box had been sealed with a powerful restriction, clearly set up by the Forged Blade Thunder Valley in anticipation of cheating methods. They had already thought of this and had blocked it. It seems we won't be facing each other for now, Yurenran sighed in relief. Despite being at the late stage of 2-star Desolate, she still felt uncertain about fighting Xiao Yan. After all, she had witnessed his terrifying strength firsthand, and if they truly fought, the outcome would be hard to predict. As they spoke, the other experts around them began to move toward the wooden box to draw lots as well. The drawing process, led by the guards and Duan Tianfeng, the third master of Forged Blade Thunder Valley, proceeded in an orderly manner. Soon, the draws were complete, and the battles began. The goal was to narrow down the top 50 from the top 100, and the time it took depended entirely on the strength of the opponents. The stronger the opponent, the more time would be required, and vice versa. However, Xiao Yan noticed that the lowest level of strength among these experts was at the mid-stage of 2-star Desolate. He seemed to be the only one at the early stage of 2-star Desolate, which left him feeling a bit helpless. Now that everyone is ready, let the battles begin. The competition is based on wins and losses. If one side surrenders, they are not allowed to continue fighting, or their result will be nullified. Otherwise, there are no restrictions, life or death. It's all fair game. Duan Tianfeng's voice was slow and clear, outlining the rules. Such rules are truly satisfying, said a figure with a dark aura, one who had advanced in the same bracket as Xiao Yan earlier. At this moment, he held up white 25, meaning his opponent was Xiao Yan. Boom! Just as Duan Tianfeng finished speaking, the massive light barrier outside the Desolate Arena slowly became transparent, revealing a scene that shocked all 100 experts present. This isn't an arena. It's clearly a mountain range. Through the transparent light barrier, the onlookers could hardly believe their eyes, for the so-called arena was actually a vast mountain range, with peaks, valleys, and flowing water. A real, natural landscape. TSK, Forged Blade Thunder Valley really has an immense foundation. Xiao Yan couldn't help but exclaim in astonishment. The entire arena, a mountain range covering thousands of square meters, was truly an extraordinary feat. Not only did it require immense wealth, but also special techniques to create such a space for a competition. It was clear that the title of Eastern Continent Overlord, held by Forged Blade Thunder Valley, was well-deserved. Blue 1 versus White 1. Please enter the arena. A guard's voice rang out, drawing attention. I'll go too. As the words were spoken, two tall men jumped out from the crowd and entered the arena, beginning their battle. As time passed, many exciting battles unfolded. Xiao Yan quickly identified several powerful opponents, and through observation, he noted Yurenran's strength as well. Yurenran was up against a mid-stage 2-star Desolate Earth-type expert. Earth-type fighters were renowned for their terrifying defense. While they might lack destructive power, Their ability to use Do Qi to defensively wear down their opponents made them formidable and hated by many. They were like a hard shell, nearly impossible to break, and their opponents couldn't simply ignore them. Fortunately, Yunran excelled at using wind-type powers. Although the battle dragged on for a while, she successfully advanced to the top 50. Next, Blue 25 versus White 25. This Xiao Yan is probably not that simple. To be able to come here with the strength of an early 2-star Do Xian, and that heavy ruler behind him, I suspect it's also a formidable divine weapon. A scholarly figure in the crowd slowly spoke. This guy is probably just lucky. The one he's fighting against is a late 2-star Do Xian expert. And with his 6 wins, he's crushing everyone to advance with us. Xiao Yan also has 6 wins, but it looks like he's struggling. I suspect. Moreover, after fighting the black figure, all 6 of the defeated contestants were erased. They didn't even have a chance to surrender. Another figure slowly spoke as well. These two were none other than Bingling and Mu Xiao, who had been in the same arena as Xiao Yan earlier. How much of a chance do you think Xiao Yan has? Bingling asked. Not sure. We'll just have to watch. But I'm a little eager to see his fight. I hope he doesn't lose too quickly, Mu Xiao said with a smile. Russell. Kid, heaven gave you a path, yet you refuse to walk it. Hell has no door, yet you've barged in, the black figure said, as he and Xiao Yan arrived simultaneously at the light barrier entrance. The black figure smiled at Xiao Yan. Why talk so much? Xiao Yan snorted coldly, then directly stepped into the light barrier. Humph, I'll make sure you wish you were dead. The black figure sneered, stepping into the mountain arena as well, ready for battle. Little guy, you're a 4th-rank immortal-level alchemist. This guy, I sensed something was wrong the moment he entered Thunder City. If you have any tricks, feel free to use them. I'll cover for you. A massive, ocean-like force slowly entered Xiao Yan's mind just as he stepped into the mountain arena. Duan Tianfeng? Xiao Yan was about to make a move when his attention was suddenly drawn to Duan Tianfeng's soul transmission from the outside. He might be from the Ghost King realm, sent to sabotage our Eastern Continent competition. If you get the chance, eliminate him and probe his memories. I'll take care of the rest, Duan Tianfeng continued. That's exactly my plan, Xiao Yan replied with a faint smile. He could clearly sense a familiar aura from the black figure ahead. The aura was indeed eerie and sinister, but Duan Tianfeng was mistaken. It wasn't from the Ghost King realm, but rather, it was more like the Soul Clan. Kid, losing focus in battle can cost you your life. While Xiao Yan was conversing with Duan Tianfeng's soul transmission, the black figure didn't stand still. A brilliant black aura around him condensed into a solid energy war spear, which he gripped by the bottom and aimed at Xiao Yan, thrusting it toward him. The war spear emanated an ominous, ghostly aura, charging with fierce momentum toward Xiao Yan. Swish, swish. A sharp, cold gleam flashed from the tip of the spear, causing the air around Xiao Yan to ripple slightly. Nice move. 7-layered Skybreaker ruler. Xiao Yan calmly drew the ancient ruler of heavenly flames from behind him. In an instant, a torrent of fire-type Do Qi erupted, enveloping the ruler. His pupils contracted, and a terrifying aura began to emanate from him. Early 2-star Do Xian against late 2-star Do Xian. This is going to be tough. This guy will probably lose in just a few rounds. The only early 2-star Do Xian in the top 100. Some of the onlookers whispered as they watched the terrifying exchange in the arena. His power doesn't seem like it's from the Ghost King realm. Could he not be from there after all? Duan Tianfeng, the 3rd in command of the Forged Blade Thunder Valley, frowned as he observed. The black-clad figure had clearly been noticed by them when he first entered Thunder City. They hadn't acted immediately, allowing him to play his hand and lure in the bigger fish. Meanwhile, the tremendous battle above the arena began to intensify. Bang, bang, bang. The Black War Spear, carrying an ominous aura, screamed toward Xiao Yan, while Xiao Yan's ancient ruler of heavenly flames emitted extreme heat. When the two weapons collided, a shower of sparks erupted into the air over the arena. Boom. Swish, swish. The two forces exploded upon impact, sending both Xiao Yan and the black figure flying backward. This guy's a bit tricky. The black figure muttered to himself as he retreated, realizing that even Xiao Yan's early 2-star Do Xian strength was exerting considerable pressure on him. If he didn't go all out, he might end up losing. This guy is definitely from the Soul Clan, Xiao Yan thought, also retreating while analyzing the situation. Xiao Yan had fought many battles against the Soul Clan on the Do Qi continent, so he was very familiar with their aura. However, Xiao Yan was surprised. I'm afraid it's to prevent exposure of their identity and thus avoid using their methods. Otherwise, with someone like Duan Tianfeng, a powerhouse of such caliber, if he were to use Soul Clan techniques, he would immediately be captured. After all, both the Soul Clan and the Ghost King realm, no matter which one, have rather unpleasant reputations. Shadow of the Soul. In the next moment, the black-clad figure hesitated no longer, letting out a startled cry. Then, his figure vanished without a trace within the arena's mountains. An ability to hide one's presence? Xiao Yan stepped back, naturally distancing himself from the explosion that had just occurred. Just as he stabilized his footing, he saw the black figure execute this mysterious move. This should be quite an advanced technique, able to conceal even his aura. But it seems he underestimates me, Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's pupils narrowed, and then a brilliant soul power surged out in all directions, sweeping across the entire mountain range in an instant. This guy. Such overwhelming soul power. I'd better act fast. He must have something on him. If I get my hands on it, I'm sure the Lord and the others will be pleased. The black-clad man spoke as his figure moved swiftly, making sure to evade Xiao Yan's soul power detection. The speed of Do Qi can't compare to soul power. Xiao Yan sneered, once again controlling his dazzling soul energy to pursue the black figure. However, to guard against any unexpected moves, Xiao Yan had also sent out an energy clone. Die! At this point, the black-clad man was still several thousand meters away from Xiao Yan. But suddenly, the space in front of him twisted eerily, and he silently evaded Xiao Yan's soul power tracking. The next moment, he was right before Xiao Yan. Die! Xiao Yan's eyes snapped shut, and the space around him subtly twisted. A hand, surrounded by black mist, holding a dagger inscribed with intricate patterns, shot towards Xiao Yan's head with lethal intent. This is bad. That dagger is a second-rank immortal weapon. If it strikes, Xiao Yan will surely die. Outside the arena, Yu Renran saw this and her face filled with panic. She quickly rushed toward Duan Tianfeng, hoping for help. Duan Tianfeng naturally saw the scene, but he didn't rush to intervene. Although Xiao Yan had achieved 4th-rank immortal alchemist at such a young age, and his future was limitless, if he were to be overconfident and lose his life, no one could blame anyone else. Alas! Many of the onlookers let out a faint sigh. Even for them, such a close-range attack would be impossible to counter. In their minds, they already saw the image of Xiao Yan's skull being pierced. Swoosh! The black-clad man had not yet fully revealed himself. His palm, holding the dagger, was already aiming for Xiao Yan's head, intending to strike suddenly and catch Xiao Yan off guard. Thud! With a sound, the black-clad man's supposed lethal strike turned into a puff of smoke as it hit Xiao Yan's head. A clone? This isn't good. The black-clad man didn't expect Xiao Yan to have already prepared for this. As soon as he saw his attack hit the clone, the space around him twisted again, ready to escape. I've been waiting for you. Fist of creation, shattering the mountain and river. The space behind the black-clad man also twisted, and a fiery red flame fist composed entirely of sacred flames slammed directly into the black-clad man's exposed arm. Crash! The sound of bones breaking echoed as his arm was struck heavily. The dagger slipped from his hand and fell down the mountain range. Don't be fooled by how easily Xiao Yan delivered the blow. Hidden within it was the power of a Do Xian enhanced by sacred flame, and when paired with his Do skills amplification, its power far exceeded that of ordinary techniques. Moreover, when the fiery red flame struck the black-clad man's arm, strands of hidden flames inside immediately started to burn within his body. The power of sacred flame not only naturally counters extraterritorial evil clans, but also exerts a powerful restraining effect on the ghostly aura of creatures from the ghost realm. You little brat. The black-clad man, seeing this, flashed with a violent aura. His left arm flickered with a sharp beam of Do Qi, severing his right arm in order to escape the burning flames. Tisk, tsk, tisk. Really willing to sacrifice. Xiao Yan smirked, not giving the black-clad man a chance to recover. His aura surged again and shot directly towards him. I surrender. For reasons unknown, the black-clad man suddenly surrendered, and at that moment, Duan Tianfeng appeared on the scene to end the match. This match goes to Xiao Yan, who successfully advances to the top 50. As for the loser, don't be discouraged. There will be a second chance competition to get into the top 50. Duan Tianfeng said. Farewell. The man in black growled, clutching his remaining right arm while casting a resentful glare at Xiao Yan. Duan Tianfeng responded with a light chuckle. What the man in black failed to notice was the faint trace of earth-colored flames quietly floating within his body. As they watched him retreat, both Xiao Yan and Duan Tianfeng couldn't help but exchange smiles. Tisk, tsk, tisk. This Xiao Yan fellow is terrifying, isn't he? The black-clad man's defeat was no small matter. Not only had he been severely injured by Xiao Yan, but he had also paid the steep price of losing an arm. After witnessing this, no one dared to underestimate Xiao Yan. After all, his opponent had been a genuine late 2-star Docian, yet Xiao Yan, at the early 2-star Docian stage, had still managed to defeat him. This wasn't luck, this was pure strength. Since the competition is over, let's head back, Xiao Yan suggested, exchanging a glance with Duan Tianfeng before addressing Yurenran. Xiao Yan didn't need to say it aloud to know Duan Tianfeng would seek him out later that night to ask about the man in black. It was best to leave early. All right, Yurenran replied, her earlier worries dissipating into a relaxed smile. The two exchanged polite farewells with Duan Tianfeng and used the spatial teleportation array to return to their resting place in the mountains. As soon as they arrived, Yurenran parted ways with Xiao Yan, concerned about leaving her younger sister home alone. The Soul Clan. Since arriving in this higher realm, there's been little word about them. What exactly are they? Xiao Yan mused aloud in his quarters before falling into silent contemplation. Meanwhile, back in the Desolate Arena's mountain range, the battles to narrow the top 100 down to the top 50 had concluded in record time, astonishing everyone with their speed. From morning to afternoon, the matches were already complete. The nights in the Thunder Realm were always bitterly cold. Gurgle. Suddenly, a strange distortion rippled through the void in Xiao Yan's wooden house, faint cracks appearing in the air. Xiao Yan, seated cross-legged, remained vigilant. Heh, little one. The next moment, a figure appeared silently inside the hut, smiling at Xiao Yan. It was none other than Duan Tianfeng, the third master of Forged Blade Thunder Valley and overseer of the Desolate Arena battles. Master Duan, Xiao Yan greeted, unsurprised by the visit, as though he had anticipated it. Rising slightly, he saluted respectfully. No need for small talk. You already know why I'm here, don't you? Duan Tianfeng asked with a sly smile. Despite his calm demeanor, the invisible pressure of a 4-star Docian emanated from him, making Xiao Yan's breath quicken. It's about the man I fought today, Xiao Yan responded plainly. Exactly. The man you face today has a rather peculiar background, Duan Tianfeng began. I suspect he might be from either the Ghost King realm or the Soul Clan of the human realm. Whatever the case, his participation in the Eastern Continent competition is undoubtedly part of a larger plot against us in the Eastern Continent, Xiao Yan interjected, shaking his head. Didn't expect you to know so much, kid, Duan Tianfeng remarked, visibly surprised. The Ghost King realm and Soul Clan operated in secrecy, their affairs rarely understood by outsiders. Yet Xiao Yan seemed unusually informed, which caught Duan Tianfeng off guard. I've already planted a flame mark inside him. With his current strength, he won't notice it anytime soon, Xiao Yan revealed. Good. Very good. Now that he's been eliminated, he's no longer allowed to remain in the Thunder Realm. He might attempt something drastic, Duan Tianfeng mused. When the time comes, I hope you'll lend us your aid. You're joking, Master Duan. I'm just an early 2-star Docian. I wouldn't be much help in battles involving experts like him. Besides, from what I sensed, he likely carries a spatial scroll or something similar, and he might just be a scapegoat. If I recklessly involve myself in a clash between 3-star Docian or higher, I'd end up dead with nothing left of me, Xiao Yan replied bluntly. Tisk, TSK, TSK. You really are a coward, aren't you? Duan Tianfeng retorted. Do you even realize who you're talking to? As he spoke, Duan Tianfeng's expression darkened, unleashing the full might of a 4-star Docian. Boom! The intense pressure flooded the hut, making Xiao Yan feel as if he were facing an unstoppable enemy. Yet, using every ounce of his strength, he resisted and managed to avoid collapsing, leaving Duan Tianfeng puzzled. After all, there was a full 2-rank gap between their powers. Master, without my help, I can guarantee you won't find him, Xiao Yan said through gritted teeth, enduring the overwhelming force. Relax. We'll play the long game and reel in the big fish. If you assist Forged Blade Thunder Valley, you won't be left empty-handed. Duan Tianfeng finally relented, withdrawing his oppressive aura. His tone shifted to a more amicable one. Let's leave it at that for today. The remaining 50 contenders will advance to 25 after 10 days. These 10 days are meant for the participants to rest and to lure that mysterious individual into revealing the power hidden behind him so it can be eradicated in one strike, Duan Tianfeng said. Understood. I'll be careful. If that person makes any move, I'll notify you immediately, Xiao Yan replied, fully aware of the gravity of the situation. He also had a faint feeling that this time, the Soul Clan might be planning something major. In that case, I won't disturb your rest. But I must emphasize this. The combatants involved in this battle are far beyond what you can handle at your current level. Whatever you do, don't go alone. You are now a 4th-rank immortal level, Heaven-grade alchemist. Your future achievements will undoubtedly be limitless, Duan Tianfeng reminded him before leaving. I understand, Xiao Yan responded softly. The seriousness of a 4-star Docian was enough to illustrate that this battle might involve such experts. For Xiao Yan, who could barely contend with a 3-star Docian even after using the Sacred Flame, facing a 4-star Docian was like treading on thorns. Rumble. As his words faded, Duan Tianfeng's figure slowly vanished. There must be some extraordinary treasure within this Forged Blade Thunder Valley. Otherwise, it wouldn't attract both the Ghost King realm and the Soul Clan. Came the voice of the Devourer of Souls, faintly spreading out. The Ghost King realm and the Soul Clan? Xiao Yan asked, slightly surprised. These are 2 separate factions. The Ghost King realm controls ghostly qi in the Ghost realm. Their combat techniques and modus operandi differ from the Soul Clans, which primarily uses soul locks to hunt down souls and operates in extreme secrecy. Back when I was still alive, I discovered that these 2 factions seemed to have a covert yet highly intricate collaboration. The Devourer of Souls said, his voice tinged with intrigue. The overall strength of the Ghost King realm was naturally inferior to the ferocious Soul domain, but due to their extreme mystery and secrecy, even the Devourer of Souls knew only bits and pieces about them. It seems we might uncover quite a bit of the information we've been seeking this time, Xiao Yan murmured. Don't worry. A mere 4-star Docian isn't worth my concern. Even a 5-star Docian is within my current capability to fight. Golden Dragon King, rest assured, I won't go back on my promise. After Xiao Yan leaves the Ghost Realm, you'll see that the Xiao Yan I've mentored will leave you in awe. A faint chuckle escaped the Devourer of Souls, a whisper meant only for himself. As the top 100 advanced to the top 50, the mountain range grew tranquil. Evidently, the remaining 50 contenders were using the 10 days to gather intelligence and prepare themselves for the fight over the 9 spots to advance further. 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. In those 5 days, Yuren Ran and Yue lived reclusive and focused lives, evidently preparing meticulously for the upcoming battles. As for Xiao Yan, he spent his time in quiet cultivation, waiting for any movements from the black-clad man. Late on the 5th night, Xiao Yan, who had been sitting silently on his bed, suddenly opened his eyes and murmured, 5 days, finally. They can't hold back anymore. A faint smile crossed Xiao Yan's lips as he sensed the movement of the Fireheart heavenly rock flame embedded within the black-clad man. Let's go. Without further delay, Xiao Yan donned a black robe that completely concealed his figure, pushed open the door, and followed the flame's trail. Before leaving, he used a specific soul transmission to inform Duan Tianfeng. In a pavilion outside the Desolate Arena, two figures emerged. One of them was Duan Tianfeng. The other was the city lord of Thunder City. Duan Qifei has left Forged Blade Thunder Valley. She's likely in the Thunder Realm now, Duan Tianfeng began. Why would Lu Qing follow her into such mischief? If anything happens to either of them, A trace of worry appeared on the city lord's refined features. After all, Duan Qifei was the future successor of Forged Blade Thunder Valley, and Lu Qing held an extraordinarily prestigious position within the Holy See. If anything were to happen to these two, the consequences would be catastrophic for both of them. Don't worry. Although we haven't located them yet, they're not to be underestimated. Besides, the security at Forged Blade Thunder Valley is extremely tight. For them to escape so easily must be the Valley Master's doing, Duan Tianfeng said with a smile. The Valley Master. Whoosh. In the next moment, as the two were still talking, an almost silent wave of soul power slowly approached Duan Tianfeng. What's this? Lord Lei furrowed his brows. It seems that guy couldn't hold back. Let's go. We'll check it out together, Duan Tianfeng said, and in an instant, both of them vanished like shadows, disappearing from the attic. The night in the Thunder Realm was eerie and cold, with gusts of ominous wind. The person in black, having left the residential mountain range, remained cautious, ensuring no one was following him before heading toward a cliff outside the range. This cliff lay at the edge of the contestants' residential mountain range, well hidden and secluded, especially in the night, when few people were around. It seems no one has noticed me. The person in black walked straight to the cliff, then leaned against a stone on the edge, muttering quietly. Xiao Yan, you little brat, this time, my soul clan will make sure the entire eastern continent is engulfed in misery. When the time comes, I'll make you wish you were dead to avenge my severed arm. The person in black glanced angrily at the empty sleeve of his garment, his rage boiling over. Let's begin. Report this information back, so the masters and the people from the Ghost King realm can discuss a solution. The person in black spoke again. Gurgle. In the next moment, a pitch-black scroll in his hand began to vibrate, with tiny runes wriggling on it like worms, grotesque and terrifying. Gurgle. Before long, the scroll slowly morphed into a cloud of black mist in front of him, and through the mist, Xiao Yan felt an overwhelming sense of deadly threat. Buzz. As if sensing the eerie and sinister nature of the dark mist, the clan mark on Xiao Yan's forehead emitted a gentle power, soothing him slightly. Soul Mist, you've summoned me. Has there been any progress with the matter I entrusted you? The dark mist coalesced into a sinister, ghostly face, speaking to the person in black. Master, I've gathered all the intel. This is the map of the Forged Blade Thunder Valley, Thunder City, and the Thunder Realm. The person in black spoke respectfully, and with that, a scroll appeared in his hand, crackling with lightning. This was clearly something from inside the Forged Blade Thunder Valley. How could such an item be in the hands of this man? The entrance to the Forged Blade Thunder Valley was mysterious, with many traps and mechanisms, not to mention the Thunder Realm itself. Without precise intel, even Soul Clan experts wouldn't dare to make a rash attack. Good. You've done well. As for the rest, we, the Soul Clan, will consult with the experts from the Ghost King realm. This time, the eastern continent is surely beyond saving. With a hiss, the eerie black mist let out a maniacal laugh. With this information in hand, and with their combined power, conquering the entire eastern continent was no longer an issue. As the laughter died down, the scroll containing the secret map of the Forged Blade Thunder Valley was swiftly devoured by the black mist and vanished. Farewell, my lord. After completing the task, the person in black respectfully spoke. In the next instant, the black mist turned into nothingness, condensing into a scroll again, which returned to the person in black's hand. It was as though nothing had changed in the space around him. How could this guy have something like this? How could a late-stage 2-star Do Xian obtain this from the heavily guarded, Forged Blade Thunder Valley? Xiao Yan murmured, confused. It seems the Forged Blade Thunder Valley has some big ambitions. This scroll was clearly left carelessly for the black-clad man to obtain. Perhaps they're laying a long line to catch a big fish. The Soul Clan, the Ghost King realm, and one Sin, 3 forces joining together to take them down. I wonder who will emerge victorious in the end. The Devourer of Souls laughed. I hope the Eastern continent isn't as fragile as it seems. Xiao Yan shook his head lightly and fell silent, his eyes fixed on the person in black. The person in black was clearly finishing his task and about to leave. But Duan Tianfeng hadn't arrived yet, and Xiao Yan had to stop him before he could leave. Jejia, over here. We climb up from here, and we'll reach the Thunder Realm's territory. The competition is held in the Thunder Realm. A silvery voice came from below the cliff, and 2 graceful figures silently scaled the steep rocks beneath the cliff. Duan Qifei, the daughter of the Forged Blade Thunder Valley's Valley Master? It seems even heaven isn't on your side this time. Ha ha ha. The person in black laughed aloud, recognizing her in an instant, then suddenly sped up, launching a deadly attack toward the 2 women, who were climbing up the ropes toward the cliff. At this moment, Duan Qifei and Lu Qing clearly hadn't realized that a crisis was slowly approaching them. Damn it! Xiao Yan's soul power was vast enough to detect Lu Qing's presence beneath the cliff, along with a rather unfamiliar aura. Putting the unfamiliar aura aside for now, Xiao Yan felt an inexplicable sense of unease. It was likely that this woman's identity and strength were formidable. At this point, Xiao Yan had no time to wonder why Lu Qing was here. His speed surged dramatically as he quickly drew the ancient ruler of heavenly flames from his back and launched an attack at the figure in black. Meanwhile, Lu Qing and Duan Qifei were climbing up the rope beneath the cliff in the dead of night, relying on the faint light to advance. The cliff wall also had a powerful restriction in place, preventing them from using any Do Qi. If they were struck by the figure in black, it would likely be extremely dangerous. Lu Qing, there's an enemy. Be careful. Seeing that he was running out of time, Xiao Yan hastily called out to Lu Qing, who was at the front of the cliff. Huh. Lu Qing, whose soul power was not weak and was on the verge of breaking through to the immortal realm, immediately recognized Xiao Yan's voice. She wasted no time and quickly pulled Duan Qifei to retreat down the rope. What are you doing, Lu Qingjie? Duan Qifei complained with a pout, but still allowed Lu Qing to lead her downward. Before Duan Qifei's words had even finished, the place they had just climbed from suddenly shattered, as if obliterated in an instant, leaving no trace behind. Gasp! Duan Qifei couldn't help but take a sharp breath in upon seeing this. If Lu Qing hadn't been pulling her down, she would have been at the location that just collapsed. Had that happened, it would have been her who was obliterated. Such a powerful destruction was something the 2 of them couldn't have dealt with. Russell, Russell. Little pest, are you following me? The figure in black, seeing his attack being thwarted, couldn't help but turn around and shout at the shadow behind him. Clearly, this attack had cost him quite a bit of energy. With just a glance, the figure in black recognized Xiao Yan. I've been following you for a while. Xiao Yan spoke indifferently. With the flame power from his black robe, he wasn't afraid of the ghostly qi emanating from the figure in black, though the latter, having recognized Xiao Yan, showed no fear either. You brat, I haven't had the chance to settle things with you over the competition, and now you're delivering yourself to my doorstep. The figure in black glared at Xiao Yan with malice. Your identity seems rather special, Xiao Yan remarked with a faint smile, not caring about the figure in black. Today, he was certain the man wouldn't escape. Today, your fall will serve as a tribute to the great deeds of our soul clan. With that, the figure in black stopped chasing after the 2 women below and immediately transformed into a streak of black smoke, shooting toward Xiao Yan. Hurry, come up here. I'll handle this person. As the figure in black rushed toward him, Xiao Yan quickly shouted to the 2 women below. Plop. The 2 women swiftly climbed up the rope and reached the top of the cliff. Huff, huff. As soon as they reached the top, Duan Qifei immediately began panting, clearly exhausted from the terrifying scene just now, as well as the physical strain of climbing the rope. Xiao Yan, I knew you'd be fine. Lu Qing smiled as soon as they reached the top, her heart finally feeling a little at ease. If anything had happened to Xiao Yan, she would have felt uncomfortable, to say the least. This is... The two women's gazes shifted to the starry sky, where a ball of black smoke collided violently with Xiao Yan, who was surrounded by blazing red flames. Boom, boom, boom. The intense fire waves scorched the black smoke formed by the figure in black. Damn it, what kind of flame is this? How can it burn my Do Qi and soul power? The figure in black couldn't help but roar as his figure rapidly retreated. In the Great Thousand Worlds, the Soul Clan had branches everywhere, but their Do Qi was unique. Their power, known as soul power, was not like ordinary Do Qi. It was far stronger, having been refined from the power of the soul itself. This guy's Do Qi is strange. After the first exchange, Xiao Yan realized that the black smoke surrounding the figure in black was actually some sort of special power. This power was even stronger than that of the Soul Clan experts Xiao Yan had faced before. Had it not been for the sacred flame purifying his fire-type Do Qi, he would have had difficulty burning through it. Rustle, rustle. 3 soul chains. The figure in black immediately gave no time for Xiao Yan to breathe. Fall before me. 3 chains, adorned with eerie, fine runes, shot toward Xiao Yan under the control of the man in black. The sharp tips of the chains caused the entire starry sky to shimmer with a ghostly aura. Whoosh. Second finger of the 4 fingers of the firmament. Shatter the sky. A commanding voice slowly emerged from Xiao Yan's mouth. In the next moment, his fire attribute Do Qi spread across the entire starry sky, and all the flames in the heavens seemed to converge at his fingertip. Xiao Yan's gaze grew cold as he raised his hand, extending his index finger, lightly pointing toward the man in black. Swish, swish. What seemed like a casual movement released an enormous, overwhelming fire finger, over 100 feet long, directly toward the 3 chains, imbued with destructive power capable of shattering the starry sky. Boom, boom, boom. As the 2 attacks collided, a series of violent tremors spread from the point of impact, and the chains began to crack under the might of the fire finger. You little brat. The man in black roared in fury. Without hesitation, he poured his powerful soul force into the chains, causing their light to intensify. Don't think you're the only one who can inject power. Fireheart Heavenly Rock. Xiao Yan, seeing the situation, dared not hold back. After all, this opponent's soul force was far from ordinary. Boom, boom, boom. Torrential flames surged from Xiao Yan's body, flooding into the fire finger like a tidal wave. Crack! With a resounding noise, the once stubborn stalemate in the starry sky shattered under the infusion of Xiao Yan's sacred flame, collapsing like a crumbling building. Thud! The man in black staggered, a burst of dark blood gushing from his mouth, his aura weakening. He was sent flying back, crashing into the shrubs below the cliff. Cough, cough. Xiao Yan casually waved his hand, dispersing the remaining energy waves in the starry sky before heading down to track the man in black. The yellowish flame he just used, that must be a sacred flame. At that moment, Duan Tianfeng and the city lord of Thunder City, hidden in the shadows, exchanged grim expressions. A sacred flame, something only the strongest in the Great Thousand Worlds possessed.